And when I needed extra fingers, I borrowed Thomas.
Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. I'm FuFuCuddilyPoof and this is level 261. Joining me tonight is Big L.
Hello, I'm back.
You were gone?
No.
I didn't even notice.
Not
We
nice.
also have Matrarch.
Is it weird that my immediate response was to say, I guess that means I'm back too, but I was here last week. So hello again.
It's always a Mets game. You guys are like a pair.
Baseball has that effect.
Hershey.
That's right. And I was recording.
I was in Hershey eating chocolate. You were recording.
That's right. I would say I won that
And
one.
Nate is not here.
Hey, Nate. Oh, what?
He is not here.
Oh.
He is in the ocean, apparently playing xCloud on the beach, getting sand everywhere, eating some dough rollers
He's
and
in
some
the ocean.
Thrasher's fries and doing all the other Marylander things. So instead, we have a guest. Welcome back, Sarah, or pTart. It has been quite a while.
Yeah, I was in response to L. Yeah, it's good to be back. Except my back was not last week. It was approximately 2.5 years ago.
Which it does not seem like it's been that long.
Not at all.
It's been forever, but it is good to be back and record with you guys. It is just good to catch up with old friends.
Which you're doing a lot of that right about now because Sarah is recording from Terre Haute, Indiana? Is that? I don't know, dude. I don't know geography.
Let her talk.
I don't do geography.
Where are you,
man.
Sarah?
Yeah, I was almost expecting the...
Achievement Fest.
I am at Achievement Fest. Yes, I am currently recording from my hotel room in Terre Haute, Indiana. Achievement Fest officially doesn't start until tomorrow, but there are a bunch of us who arrived early. We already had dinner tonight. Some of us have been hanging out at the store for a few hours, but
I'm so jealous.
while I'm here recording in my hotel room, the last couple hours, the rest of the attendees are getting the store officially set up for the start of Achievement Fest, because they were open for business today. And so when the store closed at 8,
So what they do is they break into the store at night and they just play achievements on all the TVs.
Achievement unlocked. B&E is successful.
Precisely. I was almost expecting Kenny to be like top of the show, but and live from Terre Haute, Indiana. But
Well, he
feel like
didn't
I've done that
remember
before.
how to pronounce Terre Haute, so you didn't have to worry about that too much.
Terre Haute, whatever. It's not Maryland, so who cares?
I mean, Terre Haute might actually be
there's
factually accurate.
There's no Old Bay there.
But yeah, I am in Terre Haute, but depending on when you listen to this, I will most likely be back in Michigan. So,
And apparently at 10 o'clock at night on a Wednesday, there's a freaking racetrack that is going full blast.
Yep.
They're sending it right now.
They have been going pretty strong for about 3 hours now.
And
Who
have they turned
races
right
on a
at
Wednesday
all?
night?
People of Terre Haute. There's nothing
Well, it
else
depends
going
on
on.
what track it is.
This literally proves that there's nothing to do there.
That is a true statement. I
yeah.
mean, Triple Triad grew up here. Just ask him.
Oh, that's why he plays video games all day long. There's nothing to do.
Yes.
Well, when it's also like 110 degrees outside.
It was only 95 today. Only 95.
Oh,
Well, what's the difference?
what a break.
It's still impossibly hot.
And it's crazy muggy.
It's awful.
Wow.
I can't wait for winter. I'm so sick of summer already.
Look at us chatting about the weather like a bunch of old people.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
From our
Should we talk
air-conditioned
about
living
food next?
spaces.
Oh, yeah, food. What do you eat?
We did go to B-Dubs, and I had some nice cauliflower wings.
I was just about to say, what's that B-dubs for you to eat? You're not allowed to eat anything there.
But, yeah, I had...
What does that mean? You take cauliflower and, like, draw wings on it?
Yes, that's precisely what it was.
Wow. Sounds good.
It's vegetables pretending to be meat for vegans.
I think I may have a live update from Mr. pTart. Are you guys all set up?
Oh boy.
Mostly.
Yes, he says they're mostly set up.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Well, now Mrs. Thomas is not alone anymore.
Oh.
Hey, Mr. pTart.
As he joins in right when we hit record. Very nice.
It's fine.
No, it's not a bad thing.
He's
But
not really there. She's the brains.
As long as he remembers that we're recording and the screen's on, it doesn't like walk around in his skivvies or something.
That's fine.
I mean, I can't control the guy, so I mean,
we're not live, so it's okay. We're not gonna. We're not in danger of getting like banned on Twitch or something right now.
I'd say I'll be married 15 years here soon, and one thing I've learned in marriage is you cannot control your spouse. So.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of a way to segue from that into our question of the week, and I got nothing. So,
Right, we've just finished with the relationship advice portion of the show, so we can move on to the gaming.
We've had general talk. We've hit food, some relationship advice. Now we just need to talk about math, and we're good.
Yeah, we even got the weather in there, so we're
Perfect. Typical Xbox Live party right about now. All right, VS. Topic of discussion this week. We asked, and we actually opened this question up to the general pop. We opened it up to the peasants this week. It wasn't just our premier patrons, the ones that we actually love.
Damn.
So everyone got to answer this. So we'll be able to hear from a lot of new people this week.
Good.
And this one, in the spirit of Achievement Fest, which, like Sarah said, starts tomorrow, what delisted game or regional lock game would you like to play that you currently don't have access to? Now, see, that's one of the fun things about Achievement Fest is if there's something that's delisted that someone has on their hard drive or whatever, you can put your profile on, get to play it, get them achievements on something that you would probably never be able to get. So, with that, why don't we start with Michelle?
Yes, let's start with me. So I think just to be clear, I think most people listening to this podcast are already very aware of what this means. But just in case anyone listening doesn't, delisted game is a game that's been pulled from the marketplace, so you don't have an easy way to acquire it digitally. Delisted games can frequently be also acquired physically, especially when we're talking about Xbox 360 generation games. But yeah, that's what we're going for with this question, which I think Sarah suggested, correct? So thank you for the question.
No problem.
And also, we love all of our non-patrons too. Listeners are important, and subscribers and all that fun stuff that we never really talk about. So thank you all for your submissions.
Yeah, we love them too.
Not as much, but we love them.
But we just love our patrons more.
So I will get started with some of our...
let them on the show?
Yeah, sometimes when we're feeling desperate. But so anyway, let's just jump into some non-patron answers. We'll start with these guys because these are some new names you've not heard mentioned either before or in a while. Mad Lefty 2097 says, I had always dreamed of being able to go to Achievement Fest one day and to get access to Forza Horizon 1 car packs that allowed for completion of that game. Unfortunately, the servers have killed that dream. I guess now the dream is for Forza Motorsport 4 DLC. And that's the thing with all the Forza games, right? That they just go through delistings and sometimes relistings, but Forza games are not evergreen. So, yeah, I'm sure that's probably pretty popular as they get toward the end of the life cycle to try to share some of that content around. EOJ says,
Wait, I have a comment about that.
Sure. Comment away.
So I actually met Mad Lefty. The first time I ever talked to him was in Forza Horizon. So,
oh wow,
that's cool.
Good figure.
Yeah, it's interesting because honestly, until 4 came out, I'm wasn't really on board either. Until Game Pass and basically said, "Here you go," and gave us 4 and 5. Wasn't on my radar at all.
Well, and just to be clear. I believe you mean Forza Horizon 4 and 5, because Mad Lefty also mentions Forza Motorsport 4, which is a different game. They have the same issue. Yes. I didn't catch Horizon if you had said that. So
Either way. Okay, yeah.
Right.
That's fair.
So, and I'm with you. Like, I think the Fast and the Furious Forza Horizon 2 DLC or whatever, not DLC, but like that content was the first time that Forza Horizon got on my radar. And it's the sequel to Burnout Paradise that I'll never get. So I've fallen in love with it since then. I know, it makes me very sad. Another 5 years away from another remaster. That's just what I'm waiting on. But yes.
What I'm not sure about is how 1, 2, and 3 are in comparison to 4 and 5. I believe I haven't heard that they're bad or anything like that.
I don't know from experience because I picked up series like you at Horizon 4 when it came to Game Pass, but I've listened to friends and different podcasts and whatnot talk about the previous Forza Horizon entries and even the motorsports, and they say that they're all incredible. They're all good, especially the Horizon ones. And from what I hear a lot of through, once again, friends and different people on podcasts, they say that Horizon 3 is actually the best. 4 and 5 are both great, 10 out of 10 games, but 3 is still better.
pTartT.
And a lot of that happens because of they had like a club feature or something like that. I forget exactly what it is.
pTartT, can you look outside and tell us which Forza Horizon is going on? Which is your favorite Forza Horizon game?
The Fast and the Furious.
All right, that's a good one.
I'm going to tell you this much, though, Sarah. It's completable. I don't do racing games, but I finished Forza Horizon 4, and I know you're a completionist, and sometimes that enters into the mind, but it is a completable game. So if you have any interest in it, it's definitely something you can get done. But if you don't,
so good.
It takes many, many hours. It's very good, though. It's I'm with you, Al. I don't know why it took so long to discover it, because it definitely is just such a satisfying game to play. But yeah,
money.
Well, it's true. Not having to pay for it up front is a big big difference maker.
Also, because
I'm not spending $60 on a game unless it's a Blur remastered.
Oh, Blur.
Because my only experience with Forza was Forza Motorsport 2 that got bundled with Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and that game really did nothing for me. So I just saw the word Forza. I'm like, eh.
Yeah, that's true too.
Same.
All right, well, let's move on then.
Sorry about that.
We have EOJ. No, that's great. EOJ says that 3 old Xbox Live arcade games stood out to him. The first was Warhammer Kill Team. It's one of the Warhammer games that he missed out on, and it's a rarity that it's still completable with no server issues. So once again, as we highlighted before, delisted doesn't mean that it's not playable at all. It just means that you can't easily jump onto the marketplace and purchase it. Moving on with EOJ's comment, Toy Soldiers Cold War, as I'm missing the DLC packs and would love the points for the strategy leaderboards.
Great game.
And then Marble Blast Ultra and its DLC, as it looks fun as heck and fills a pesky slot in my calendar project that I have no other viable candidates for. So take a minute to describe this too. I'm not exactly sure who originated the calendar project, so if anyone listens to this knows who that is, I don't know, maybe EOJ, it's EOJ himself, I think it might be. But the calendar project is a spreadsheet where it's January through February, and it starts from 2005, I think, with the first achievement-enabled games. And the whole idea is to find one game each month, one game that released in each month since then that you've completed. So the tricky months are those very early months. And there aren't many options, and Marble Blast Ultra is one that's commonly used for that particular month. And Marble Blast Ultra is so much fun. It was great. And that is an absolutely good shout. I don't believe I have the DLC for that, so I totally get that, but I also don't know for sure because that was the nature of my spending habits back in my early XBLA days. I just kind of picked up stuff. All right. Ace says, I would be hard pressed. It would be hard pressed to do an achievement fest or any short-term event, but I would like to go back and play Forza Horizon 1 and 2 at some point. I didn't even glance at those games because I had played Motorsport and thought they were just more of the same. Having loved Forza Horizon 3, 4, and 5, I do feel like I missed out now. And as we talked about before, I think there's concurrence here among us as well. Smirnoff?
Is Forza Horizon 1 and 2 not available physically? Or are there just like the server shut down so it can't be completed or properly played.
I believe
there's definitely discs for that.
Stuff is unachievable, but I think the game is available physically, so you could play it and get whatever achievements that were not affected. I think I'm gonna just pop it into TA real quick and see if there's if everything has one of those.
I don't know why I didn't do that.
Delisted
laziness.
Bits. Well, it doesn't. This isn't live TV. It's okay. So we can do this stuff. Forza Horizon 2. I know we all played Fast and Furious.
Yeah, we all played Fast and Furious for sure.
So Forza Horizon 2 has 12 discontinued achievements, and because of services that were so it currently has 12 discontinued achievements. There are online services that are scheduled for closure, and it is not available through the store. But yeah, you could still find a physical copy, I'm sure, and pick that up. Otherwise, everything would be unaccessible. So yeah. Smirnoff answers for him, it's Diner Dash on XBLA. So a nice short and sweet answer.
I remember hearing about that game. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I'm trying
like the Sally's, in the vein of those, like the Sally's business ones that were on the Windows Phone?
I think that's correct.
I don't know what Sally's is.
Yeah, so it's sort of like Overcooked, but in a very simplified way. So you'd have people who would give you orders, and you had to try to put them together and satisfy the customers. And if you took too long to give them their lemonade, they would walk away. Yeah, it's that kind of thing. But this was like a cell phone based game initially.
I love these games.
Yeah.
I played a couple of these back in the day. My favorite was Zombie Cafe. There was a million of these on the iPhone.
Right, yeah.
I love these games.
Dakota says,
Good
much
answer.
like Ace said about Achievement Fest not being long enough, I'd love to get the Japanese and European stacks of one of my all-time favorite games. I said favorite twice. Dakota did not write favorite twice. Eternal Sonata. I think Elle and I tried that and didn't get too far in it. Right? Or am I confusing that with something else?
We tried it. And cool thing about that game is that for a JRPG, it has local battle co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Take turns with the co-op partner.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Okay, and then the last one I'm going to read is from Thrash Forever, who says, probably Let's Sing and Dance for me, as that game is holding me back from the Let's Sing series completion. And I know that's what motivates a lot of us, is the series completions that we're looking at. So
I like Let's Sing and Dance. That
Guy's
was a good
name
one.
is
that was actually
Forever.
pretty good.
And he wants to do this Let's Sing.
He is
even I had
a rhythm games person, so yeah, I'm not surprised. I had a hard time with this question. I would have found it easier if the question was, among the delisted games that you have access to, which is one that you would say is a must access at Achievement Fest? Because I found when I was looking at the list, most of the games that were delisted, where I was like, oh, that would be, wait, I have that already. But there were a couple things that came to mind that I do have access to because I have good friends, but things that I do not own myself. So first off is the Jack and pardon me, You Don't Know Jack DLC, the Jack packs. Those were all delisted, and again, thankfully people have helped me access that, but I don't have them myself. Also the Marble Blast Ultra DLC, which is one, like I said, I'm not 100% sure if I own it, but I don't think I do. Insofar as a game, the only one when I looked through the list that I was like, oh man, I'd kind of like to play that was Droplets. And I honestly didn't even realize it had come out on XBLA. I played Droplets Delight on the Windows Phone, and I enjoyed that game and played through it real quick. It's the only game on TA where I'm one of the top 10 or one of the first 10 people to complete it. So I enjoyed it. And I think I would have probably enjoyed Droplets on XBLA, but I didn't get a chance and I don't have the ability to access it. So I think of the list, that's probably the one that comes to mind for me.
Nice. Yeah. I'm not sure what Droplets is. Now I want to look that up.
It's a puzzle game, which probably isn't surprising given that I'm talking about it.
I should have known.
Yeah. Do I remember much about it? No. Because I think I finished it in a day or two from when it was released on on the Windows Phone. But it's totally the kind of thing that, given how quickly I played through it, and I'm sure I would have enjoyed playing it, and it would be another series completion to go for, since those are the only two available on the Xbox ecosystem. So yeah, that like I said, that would be it. There are lots of great delisted games. There were so many great answers from patrons and non-patrons. Just I couldn't think of a whole lot.
Droplets doesn't look bad.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, so Elle, why don't you go ahead and read the next set of responses and give your answer?
All right. We have someone writing in for the first time, Mike ID, who said, for me, it would be Wolfenstein 3D North American version. A friend of mine gave me an account with the game on it, but it took too long to start it and lost access to that account. So whenever I see someone play it now, I shout inside my head in regret. Mein Leben! Is that what you say? That's what you should say. That's what anyone who plays Wolfenstein 3D should say. I mean, I've been working on that game for 40 years now. I don't think you're missing out too badly by not playing it. But,
You're old.
I know. I am old. Yeah, that's not a fun game, only because everything looks the same, and there's no in-game map, so you have to find a map online and follow that along.
Ugh.
It's a little rough. It's a very important game, but it's rough.
Some old games are hard to go back to.
Yeah. It was before Doom. But you get to kill Hitler, so there's that. That's always fun. Always a good time. With that said, come to New York and I'll let you know. Now, next is Isrit. Good old Isrit, who's definitely going to pick a Mortal Kombat game. No, Korean Dead Rising?
Good
What?
figure.
You think he doesn't have access to all the games in Mortal Kombat already? Like,
That's true. He probably has
This is very true.
probably playing Game Gear version on his toilet right now.
I'm pretty sure he said he has a
I'm sure. Yeah, you're
floppy
right.
disk copy of Mortal Kombat.
He probably has the arcade machine in his bathroom. Let's be realistic here. All right, so Korean Dead Rising. So I think there were 2 Dead Rising XBLA titles from my recollection.
yes.
He says
Case
I almost
Zero
was able to
and
get
Case
in
West.
on that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I don't know what he's talking about, but I assume both. I almost was able to get on that when a tag was being passed around. Not that we encourage that here. But I think that ship has long since sailed.
We don't have a library.
It's fascinating to have access to thousands of games and be like, you know what? I want to play Korean Dead Rising. Can't get
Hey, man,
enough.
that game's good. Dead Rising's great.
It is, but just fascinating. What
It's
people
also
will
another
play.
game that I will never complete because I don't have the patience for the
7 Days Survivor.
Survivor thing.
survival. Yeah.
It's actually a good one this month for targets because they're all 20G achievements.
Mm-hmm.
Now that the month's over, I could tell you that, right? Very helpful. Heizo says, Hasbro Family Game Night for PAL. Is that like a friend of Hasbro Family Game Night? Oh, the PAL. That's like,
I knew he was going to say
that's
it.
like Europe.
I knew it. I saw the joke coming.
That transparent. Cheery. Hasbro. Oh, the stack. Oh, it's card and board, and the only PAL game I care about, so it's never worth buying a copy on a console for. Any other card and board I can reasonably get access to, but that one requires a specific console as a non-BC game. Luckily, that is supposed to be available for me to knock out this weekend. All right, you see?
Nice.
This is what's going to happen this week. Everyone's going to be hanging out chatting, and Heisel's going to be like, you suck my battleship. Probably have a grand old time. But it is interesting how a lot of these answers are tied to climbing a specific genre leaderboard.
Oh, yeah.
In which a Heizo is known, well, by me anyway, for climbing the card and board leaderboard. The card and leaderboard. Look at that. I just thought of that.
I mean, for most part, any of these games, if we ever wanted to play them, we would have just bought them at the time.
Right. Except for this next couple of answers. Dude with the face
Naturally.
says Wallace and Gromit, which I'll get to a little later, And the Minecraft Story DLC, although I think my GameShare partner has that DLC and I need to get on it. Dude with the face, I love you, but that was a terrible answer.
Wow.
False.
Minecraft Story Mode was bad enough the first time, and then they took it away, and then I'm still upset because I bought all the Windows stuff and I can't download it and access it. So maybe I'm just mad. I'm just mad at that. I started it, still have it on the hard drive, but it won't let me access it. Someone has access to that.
I have Wallace and Gromit. If anybody wants to come here to achieve
all right, I'm on my way.
I have 3 of the 4 of them on my 360. I also have the Let's Sing and Dance. So
Wallace and Gromit. Well, I remember. Well, let's get to the next answer. Northern Lass says the Wallace and Gromit games. So sad I was too stingy to buy those back in the day. And you know what, Northern Lass? As much as I want to give you crap, I am not going to give you crap. We all were too stingy to buy these games. The reason is there were 4 of them, episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. And from what I can remember, the first one went on sale for like $5. And 2, 3, and 4 never, ever once went on sale. And I believe they were $14.99 or
$10.99 or $9.99.
How much were they? Were they $10?
Yep.
Okay. So in essence, it was a $40 game for 4 parts. I want to say part 1 did go on sale. Oh, yes. And they were
easy completions.
Microsoft points also. Well, I liked Wallace and Gromit Part 1, even though the achievements were a little weird. But I liked the humor in those games, the British humor. So yeah, a lot of people were too stingy to buy those, and then they were delisted, and they're gone. So those are pretty popular down there in Terre Haute. So how come you only have 3 of the 4? What good is that?
So, fun story. I played episode 1 at my first or second Achievement Fest. So since I played it there was no need to buy the first one. So I own 2, 3, and 4.
All right, so you have the ones that no one has.
That makes sense.
That reminds me of the story. Michelle and I were in Boston, and we found this store, and everything in the store was buy 3, get 1 free. And they had these Ninja Turtle plushes. And they had a Leonardo, and they had a Michelangelo, and they had a Donatello. And you get where I'm going with this. There was no Raphael. So.
Wait, what?
Yeah. And at buy 3, get 1 free, I was like, you know what? If they have all 4 of these, maybe I'll buy these. Nope, they only had 3 of them. And they were brand new. They're like these new plushy, cool looking things.
Like they didn't make a Raphael?
No, they made it.
It just wasn't.
They said it's brand new and they didn't get any. They didn't get any. No, they're not going to sell out Raphaels. That's only my opinion. Because as Devin likes to point out, all the good ones end in O. That's what he likes to tell me. Classic. Anyway.
That's funny.
Kenny just got it. Yeah, it's actually a line from... now.
Oh.
Yeah, the Wallace and Gromit was actually going to be my answer, but a couple people said it.
So now he has to change.
No. I'm not going to change. I'm going to say, Kenny, it's your turn.
Oh, okay then.
We have a lot to get to.
I wasn't expecting that. All right, so first I'm going to read is from Mike Pitch, excuse me, who says, Saban's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Mega Battle. It came out before I got back into my nostalgia for the franchise, and then it was delisted with no notice. The game seemed more geared for co-op, but didn't have an online co-op mode, which meant I never get to experience it that way. Would be great to play with a full group sometime. Yeah, this I just assume no one here knows what it is. It's just like a beat 'em up game. It kind of looks like Shredder's Revenge. Kind of has that same art style, cartoony art style type to it, and it's a beat 'em up. They're all the same. There's no real difference between them. Which, yeah, I'll go along with him. I'd play it. I mean, it can't be any worse than Scott Pilgrim.
Well, the problem is, it's Mike Pitch. His friggin' avatar and everything about him is Power Rangers. And
well, he said that it got delisted before he started his nostalgia for the franchise.
No, it's before he
So
realized that
he's a late bloomer.
He realized he should have spent $4 on it. And he was cheap.
Was it really $4?
It was $4 and he passed on it. So that's on him.
That's actually kind of fitting for that series for it to be cheap.
Yeah.
All right.
But no online.
Next
co-op.
up, Yeah, that's also what sucks. That game is totally a co-op game. Not having online, that sucks. That would not be as fun to play by yourself. I mean, if you got couch co-op, but like, who does couch co-op?
I'm trying to find.
All right, next up.
A follow-up answer.
Next up is Dretstack says NCAA football. Any of them. Not even really for the achievements, but just to leave my normally snake-bitten alma mater to the Natty, or even just the Rose Bowl. We'll take the Rose Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Who's his
No,
alma
I
mater?
have no idea what that means.
Who is his alma mater?
It's her alma mater is the University of California, Berkeley.
I am so glad you understand
I asked
that.
her.
I had no idea.
Alma mater means where you went to college. One day, if you get to college, you'll know.
Rose Bowl threw me off. I thought she may have been from Michigan there for a second, but
No.
No one's from there.
I've heard of the Rose Bowl, but like everything else, no idea.
Yeah, just it's just NCAA football stuff. Natty being the national championship, which Berkeley's never really. I don't know if Berkeley's ever been like she said, long suffering. I don't know that they've ever really been a player for that. But if you're into college sports, that's the college football. That's the big thing to get to.
Yeah, she went on to say, until the Cubs finally got their World Series win, she liked to call us the Chicago Cubs of NCAA football. So, she said they're long-suffering.
Yeah, I don't do college sports at all, so all that's just going to go right over my head.
I don't do sports at all, so
you're missing out.
All right, well, what sport do you think we're talking about? When it says NCAA football, is it American football or soccer?
Wow.
Moving on.
So sad. Exprovos.
Oh boy. It's Exprovos. Get it right.
Oh, my bad. Chrono says Lost Cities has been my white whale. I'm thinking that as this is my third Achievement Fest, it's time to bring it to land. I have no idea what Lost Cities is.
I don't either.
Well, that's
that show with
to TA we go.
It's that show with Jack and he gets on a plane.
Lost Cities is a hardened board
saying?
game. But
that is not what I expected.
No, can't get. It's not that much.
Man, all these older games, there's no clips on TA. And with this one, there's not even a screenshot.
This was released in 2008. Yeah, not a whole lot of.
Oh my god, nobody's played this.
2,000 tracked game, just over 2,000 tracked gamers. No completion estimate. So yeah, it's not a whole lot of information for us to go on here.
This sounds like a Chronos game.
I think you're not wrong. I think this is the most bare bones, quote unquote, uncompleted TA page I've ever seen for a game. There's no clips, there's no news, no walkthrough, no TA estimate. There's not even a cover picture for this. There's just nothing on this game.
The 2 forum posts are the auto-generated forum posts for boosting and discussion.
Yes. There's legit nothing on this game.
Okay.
Well,
makes sense
good
that
luck.
Chronos would choose it then.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't it, right?
You're right.
Have fun playing this all weekend.
Right.
Well, Mango has it, so there's Mango has it completed even. So I suppose that's the person who will be granting access.
There you go, Kronos.
But Mango has to search his
It may or
500
may
hard
not take
drives.
you all weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That would be a pain after they take all the hard drives.
Yeah.
So you got to package them bad boys
And
nice.
yeah.
That way they don't go out. And they're only like 200 gigs.
Yeah, normally people bring a lot of 360 hard drives, and yeah, now with the Xbone era, people bring way less stuff, because like the first couple of years, people were bringing like totes of games, like totes and totes, like there was just boxes of games everywhere. But yeah, it
makes sense.
Yeah, I've brought very little actual gear this year. I just brought my own Series X and Thomas's, and I brought my 360 because it has a bunch of delisted stuff on it for people. I even left my Japanese box at home because there honestly wasn't a lot of demand for it.
So instead of delisted stuff now, people just want the easy gamer score, and since there's so many games like that, people will share those type of games.
A lot of people have different goals at Achievement Fest, though. Like, not everybody's there to just like lay down as much gamer score as possible. A lot of people do go for like kind of like what we're discussing right now, like stuff that they don't have access to, or like the foreign consoles, and some people do go to socialize a little bit. Shocking.
That'd be me.
I'll be curious
I would
see.
Just want to hang out.
I honestly, the one thing I would really love to go to Achievement Fest for is to play Rock Band with like a full band of people. Like that would really be
happening.
The key thing. It's not even about achievements. I don't care about being logged in to my profile, like, but just actually playing with a full band for the first time in like a decade would be amazing.
We've done it. We've done it every year. It's
God, that really is like, if there was just a Rock Band section, I would just be there the entire time. And when I'm not there, I'm like hanging out and talking to someone while I'm on break from playing more Rock Band.
So,
I miss Rock Band parties, man.
Yeah.
I just envisioned you guys at that store where there's like a Best Buy type store where there's like 1,000 TVs and you see like Rock Band everywhere. Charts flowing. But I need you to keep an eye on something for me, pTart, and I'm going to talk to you next week. I remember last year, Power Wash Simulator was the new hotness. The game.
Oh, Jesus.
Can you believe it's been a whole year?
I know.
Oh, never mind.
I need you to keep track of what everyone's playing this year. And write it all down.
I'll tell you the hot new game of Achievement Fest 2023.
I can't wait.
I can't wait to hear.
It's going to be Lost Cities. Everyone gathers around for it.
God, could you imagine? Could you imagine this no-name game just gets this massive resurgence on TA?
TA servers don't know what to do with the 30 people who completed it that week. There's suddenly a time estimate on it. Oh, glorious.
Let's keep going. Next response comes from Sir Polygon, who says, "Too many. The Warriors Street Brawl and the 1989 TMNT XBLA one come to mind." Dude, the 1989 TMNT game is so good.
Yeah, man. I'm sure someone at Achievement Fest will have that for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Which I don't.
Need me to help?
Now that I think about it,
help.
I don't think I ever finished that, L. I think we were going to, and then it got canceled, and we just never went back to that.
I think I deleted.
Oh, how convenient! I'll remember that. I'll remember that when Zoo Tycoon pops up.
Oh, I'll help you anytime, bud.
Yeah, I never did complete that game. I want to complete that. I love that game so much. It's one of the few NES games I've actually played. All right, and then last response comes from Katie, who says, "Bully, the JP version." That's probably the highest profile game.
I want 50 Cent Blood on the Sand Japanese version.
Yes, Thomas and I were actually talking about that in the drive up. I would love to do that.
That
is wild.
Backwards compatible now, so it doesn't really apply, but That game.
So many people talk about the game. I know nothing about it. I've never played it.
Oh, it's so great. And the reason it's so great is because you wouldn't think that it's great, but it's great.
I don't like shooters, and I like that game. It is so fun.
That literally speaks volumes about it if Sarah likes it.
It was so much fun.
All right, but as for me, for my answer, I didn't have a good answer coming into this. So I actually just went on TA and just went in delisted games and tried to find something. And I also wanted to try to find something that was delisted and digital only. Like in my mind, if there's a physical version, it kind of defeats the spirit of the question. Like I saw Deadpool. Well, if I want to play Deadpool, I could just go buy it. It's on eBay. But I did come up with 2 games. The first one, and I know this one Sarah's going to love, and she's actually even brought it up, A World for Kathleen's on the Windows. Yeah, that's a great one. To be able to say I got the series completion on that would be cool. You know, I love A World for Kathleen's. I love A Kingdom for Kathleen's. We need a remaster of that. That would be great.
Yes, please, Microsoft. Please,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
Reboot the series, just anything. Give me more of that game. I love those games. They're so good.
Yes.
And the Avatar
Yes.
people that you walk around.
Yes.
Yes.
I say it all the time. I miss the avatars.
Yes. And Kenny, I have the series completion. Sorry.
What?
I'm not surprised. I'm not actually surprised.
Sarah, I cannot get that last.
That's annoying.
Yeah, and that's in one of those uneven games. Share each other's laptops too? Windows games?
There is a machine there that has all games for Windows Live that's coming. And then in the past, we've had a computer with all those Win 8s. Like somebody did, or a bunch of people did Disney Fairy Treasures last year. Yeah, Triple Triad played that for a solid 6 hours last year.
It's not short. Nope.
No,
goodness.
No, it's not short.
He was getting pretty frustrated with it too. But that was toward the latter end of Achievement Fest when we're all sleep deprived and getting a little cranky and...
I'd be the guy there videotaping, blackmailing.
I should have gotten a picture of Triad playing it. He was glued to that thing.
Wild.
I'm pretty sure Kronos...
Oh, God.
No, I think Kronos played it last year too, or was it 2 years ago? But also, same thing, glued to the machine and looking very frustrated.
Wild. The other game that I found, and I know really nothing about it other than it just looks like an iPhone game, Zoo Tycoon Friends with the Windows platform.
I think I played that. Maybe?
I love Zoo Tycoon. I love these little games like this.
No. I'm thinking of Connectables.
I've never seen it. I saw there's like a little news thing and it showed when it was announced and it has like the game trailer. I watched that. So it's like, oh yeah, this looks like just a generic zoo simi game on a phone. I'm here for it. I would like to play it.
No, I apologize. I was getting that confused with the Connectables thing that they had on the Windows Phone in Win 8.
I know that name. I never played Connected.
And Michelle and I have a friend who got hurt.
All right, but yeah, Sarah, why don't I throw it to you?
All right, let me read some VIP answers here. Wakapale would like to play Batman Arkham Asylum. Is it the Japanese and the 360 or the Japanese 360 stack? I wasn't sure on the wording there.
It's probably Japanese 360.
Yeah.
Okay.
I cannot imagine he doesn't have a 360.
I figured that was the case, but the comma had a weird placement. And all right, he said he is.
I see.
He's completed 5 editions of Arkham Asylum and wouldn't mind completing them all with the final 6th stack. And that makes sense. I think Mango has completed every single available Arkham Asylum.
I think so. I know ZZ Urban Spaceman has done it all as well. Actually, I think he's completed like everything Arkham.
Okay. That's impressive.
They're great games.
They are good.
I should complete that.
And
it's the Oop, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead. I was about to read the next answer, but go ahead.
Oh. I was just gonna say it's the free throw perfection or whatever that achievement is called. I forget now. That stops me for doing all the combat in one move. Could never get the hang of it. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead. Continue with the next one.
I think the next one is a repeat answer because we already heard from Ohiozo, right?
Oh, yeah. Come on, Elle.
I don't think we want to
Just say it
how
again.
Ohiozo really
We
wants to play Hasbro Game Nights.
Yeah, he wants to play it so bad he answered twice.
Damn it, Al.
Ohiozo's actually tied to my answer because my answer is Uno Rush, the XBLA title. So that is the game that's preventing me from getting 100% series completion for the Uno games. So Ohiozo and I have plans to play it this weekend. He volunteered to be my Uno buddy, so that'd actually be to give us a series completion for both of us because that's the only game that both of us are missing.
Oh, nice.
So yes, I'm excited. It's according to TA, it's a 2 to 3 hour completion, so I think we can easily knock it out. We just need to find 2 people with copies, and I think we have. So hopefully we can knock it out this weekend, and finally I can get 100% in the Uno series.
Nice.
So
now the real question is, do you have a webcam with this?
Vision cam.
Or vision?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's vision cam. My bad.
Oh, goodness.
So, Sarah, how many Uno games are there?
6.
Really?
There's 6 Uno games.
I was thinking, there's 3.
Yeah, there's
360 and the 1.
So there's the 1, and then there's a stack called Uno and Friends Windows and Windows Phone. Then there's Uno Windows Phone, and then there's the 360, and then there's Uno Rush.
That is wild.
And yes, I've played 5 of the 6.
That is wild. There's that much Uno.
Mm-hmm. And I think the majority of them are delisted.
Probably.
Well, at least 2 are Windows Phone, right? So they're obliterated.
Yeah.
They're like a step beyond delisted.
And the Windows one, I don't remember the... Oh, no, they shut that game down, the Uno and Friends server closure.
Right.
Yeah, it looks like just Uno is available.
Uno.
Which I boosted with this community a long time ago.
Yay.
I know. I played that as well.
Uno?
Actually, Brooke did as well.
Yeah, I was going to say Brooke was there.
But I don't remember anyone else. I think Death Dealers was there.
I remember Kronos being there.
I have no idea at this point. Been too long. Wow, that was over 4 years ago I did that. Jeez. Well, that will do it for that part of the show. That's the last of the responses. Anybody have any other games you want to mention real quick before we continue?
Nope.
All right. Well, in that case, let's get on over to the game showcase. And I'll go first. I've been playing a game, and I actually wound up streaming this Saturday. If that's not up on our YouTube channel, I will put it up there so you can see how I did on it. I've been playing a game, Exoprimal. Now, this is a new game, came out July 14th. I wanted to play it really, really bad last week, but was not able to. But I was able to dive into it Saturday. Like I said, I streamed it. This is not necessarily what I thought it was going to be. So I remember seeing this game when Capcom first put a trailer on E3 or something a couple of years ago. I don't remember what it was. And all I remember was seeing a third-person shooter, lots of dinosaurs, and I went, I have to play this. This looks great. And I really didn't do any other looking into the game just because I was excited. There was I knew I wanted to play it. There's no reason to do more looking into it, get more hyped. And then when it came to Game Pass, it's just like, all right, now we have to play it. I went into this expecting it to be more Left 4 Dead-y, where it's like the horde mode, or you're just in an environment, impossible odds, dinosaurs everywhere trying to kill you. But to my surprise, it is actually a multiplayer hero class shooter game. Now, there is a campaign, and when I say there is a campaign, I mean there's a campaign. It kind of does the whole thing like Titanfall 1 did, where you're online, you have to play multiplayer, and as you're doing multiplayer missions, there's some sort of a story going on. I don't really much care about the story. From the little bit of the scenes that I've watched, it's like, this might be intriguing, this might be interesting, but all in all, I don't really care. I just want to go shoot dinosaurs and have fun. And the game is a lot of fun. If you like hero shooters such as like an Overwatch, this would probably be worth a try. It definitely is team-based, co-op. You trying to jump in by yourself and not being on the mic would be terrible. Because you do need coordination. So let me explain how this game actually works. You get into the game, and like I said, it's always online. It's a 5v5 multiplayer game, and you have different objectives that you need to complete, and essentially you need to complete all the objectives before the opponent's team completes theirs. So like you first start off, and there might be the objective to kill like 150 raptors, and then once you complete that, you can move to the next area, and then you have to kill 120 raptors and 6 pterodons. Then you move to the next one, and there's a Carnotaurus that you have to kill. Something like that. They change up depending upon where it is. They change up the amount and the dinosaurs they have to do. And like I said, you have to complete them, and as you complete the different objectives, the different areas, the game will actually tell you you're completing this faster than your opponents, or you're completing it slower than the enemy team. When you go through and you complete all the objectives, you then get transported to the final mission. If you completed your objectives faster than the enemy team, then you get a little bit of a head start. If you complete them slower, then obviously you're behind. So you want to complete the objectives faster. Now, the final mission is one of two options. It's either PvE with a little bit of PvP mixed in, or it's just straight PvP. The PvE is there's like a little beacon that you have to go to, and you have to protect it. And as your team stands around it, like the countdown goes, and when it reaches 100%, then you go to the next area, rinse and repeat, and just whoever can build their beacons the first wins. And where the little bit of PvE aspect or PvP comes into play with that is there's these things called dominators that will appear, and when you pick it up, you only get to. There's only one on each map. You get to pick up the Dominator, and when you activate it, you transform into a dinosaur, into like one of the boss dinosaurs, and you're teleported to the enemy team, and now you get to wreak havoc on them. So if you've played Left 4 Dead, think of it when you get to be the tank in the multiplayer. Now for the PvE or PvP aspect of the game, if you've played Overwatch or any game similar to that where you have to like push the payload to a certain area, that's very similar how it is. You have like some sort of like a box, they call it a data something or other, I forget, data cube I believe, and you basically just have to escort it through hordes of dinosaurs to the end area. That when it gets there, you have to stand by it and protect it and let it upload, and then whoever uploads their data cube first wins. Now, because it's PvP, you do get access to like the Dominator, but also along the lines of that, eventually you'll come across the opposing team, and then you could sit there and actually kill them, destroy their data cube. When their data cube is damaged, it moves slower, and then when it eventually gets destroyed, then they have to rebuild it and continue from there. Yeah, that's basically the game. There's no like just straight single player. It's always online. You always have to play with a team and against another team. There's cross play is enabled, so we can play with PlayStation or PC or whatever. And like I said, it's a hero shooter. So you have different classes. You have your assault class, your support class, your tank class, and then there's different suits. There's different Iron Man suits. Let's be honest, that's what they all look like. There's like different Iron Man suits. Some of them have in like the assault mode, they have just swords on their arms. So it's a primarily melee type class. Then there's others with different guns or whatever. There's a whole bunch of classes. I'm not going to go through them all. And it's cool because like as you play through, you get XP, you level up, and it unlocks different mods for your suits. And yeah, if you like online hero shooters, give this a try. It's on Game Pass. Exoprimal is a lot of fun. Looking on TA, it's an 80 to 100 hour completion. So if this isn't your thing, like I know Sarah has basically spaced out on this one. This is totally not her game.
I was going to ask you if you noticed the completion time, because I was going to ask, is this something you're aspiring to complete?
So, I will say this. It's completable. If you go through the achievements, none of them are like complete the game while one arm is tied behind your back and it's on the super, super, super difficult mode or anything like that. None of them are really skill-based. There's some RNG type stuff, like you have achievements for killing a T-Rex or killing a Triceratops or something like that. They're like the boss dinosaurs. And there's a little bit of RNG because not the same dinosaur doesn't pop up all the time. And you have to be the one that gives the killing blow. So if you have a group, you can say, hey, let me, everyone weaken it and then just let me finish it off so I can get the achievement. But you have to also hope that one pops up.
So it's boostable.
Yes, it is boostable eventually.
So with the 80 to 100 hours, is it just more grindy to get to that point?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely just going to be more grindy. Like all the assault classes, for every single suit, there's kill 1,000 dinosaurs. For all of the tank classes, there's absorb 10,000 damage. And then for all of the supports, it's heal 10,000 health. So that's where a lot of your achievements lie.
I'm looking,
and then there's just essentially just different achievements for unlocking suits and upgrading them and stuff like that.
I'm looking through the list right now, and I get what you're saying, and so Game Pass game, right? It's already been tracked by a ridiculous number. 75,000 people have played Exoprimal already, or have tracked it on TA. That's certainly not representative of the number who've actually played it. And looking at the 2 least tracked achievements, the next last one is to collect 50 modules. That one's been tracked by about 800 people. And then there's a sharp dip to the last one, which has only been tracked by 41 people. And that's to eliminate 100,000 dinosaurs. So this just leads to a pair of questions to kind of get a sense of that, because I guess this is where the 80 to 100 hour estimate comes from. How long does a game typically take, and how many dinosaurs do you tend to eliminate in the span of one game?
So I stream for, I want to say roughly 3.5, 4 hours. In that time, I played 6 to 8. I think I played about 6 or 7 games. So I guess roughly a game takes about 20 to 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say after about my 5th game or so, I unlocked the kill 1,000 dinosaurs achievement. So roughly probably about 200 to 300 kills a game. Obviously, if that was my very first time playing that, so I had no idea what I was doing. Going in now that I have an idea, and if I had an actual team that I was playing with and we were able to coordinate, you'll probably get more than that. But you're not racking out 1,000 kills a game. There is just no way that's happening.
Okay, yeah, it seems like that's like exactly what you said. It's not a skill-based thing. It's just putting time in the game. So it's I mean, these ratios probably won't settle all that much because it is a Game Pass game, so there's always going to be a new influx of people who just dabble. How hard is it to get on your tag?
I was actually just about to say it. So when you first start the game, it takes you right to a tutorial. Beating that tutorial gives you an achievement.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
you're going to get it on your tag very, very easily, very quickly before you have time to go, oh, I hate this game. You're probably going to have it on your tag. So if it's something you want to try and you're a completionist, I would try it on a different tag. But like I said, it's going to be a game that's going to be able to be boostable. The problem with this game, though, when we talk about boosting, and it's the nature of the video game industry right now, unfortunately, I cannot foresee this game having a long life. It's a server-based game, so it would not surprise me if 3 years from now we're hearing Exoprimal servers are going down. Because there's a million of these games. You know, Fortnite, Apex, like, I love this game. I think it's a lot of fun. I think if people who like to jump on that kind of train with these type of games will like this game, but because there's so much competition in this world, I don't see it having long life, and it won't be long until who made this again? Oh yeah, Capcom. I could see them shutting down the servers in a few years, and then this wound up just going the wayside, and we talking about what game would you like to play that's delisted, and this being brought up in years from now.
So Kenny.
So I could see like a couple of months or even a year down the road, like when the servers aren't as populated. Yeah, we could probably get some boost groups together and we just, try to match, and if we don't, back out and try again. But who knows? I hope I'm wrong. I hope it stays around for a while and it gets lots of updates.
So how does matchmaking work? And how many people can you have in your party, and can you play with your friends in the party?
So it's 5v5.
Okay.
And you can create a party. So for a couple of games, a couple of final games, I actually had Nate play with me.
Whoa.
He was supposed to be here tonight, and I was going to be able to talk about this with him because he's also really enjoyed this game. He's probably put in about 20 hours.
It's play anywhere. But you can boost it in the ocean with him right now.
Yes.
There we go. Yeah, come on, Nate. Put your toesies in the sand or in the water, and let's play.
Get a Wi-Fi booster and then boost it.
But yeah, 5v5, you can create a party. I will say, how do I put this? So in order to unlock more levels and more progression and hordes in the game, God, this is so stupid. Even when I'm just thinking about this, I'm about to say it's such a stupid progression. It's awful. You have to complete the campaign. And when I say by complete the campaign, you have to watch the videos. So as you play through the game, there's like medals or different like objectives that you can in-game objectives that you unlock. And as you unlock them, it unlocks like the next part of the campaign. What you have to do is when you're on the main menu, you scroll all the way to the right, and then you have to, the archives that you go into, and in the bottom left-hand corner, there's like a button where you actually have to watch the video. As you watch those videos, you get access to new hordes, new levels. If you were like me and had no idea that was ever a thing, you would literally just play like the same 2 levels with the same group of dinosaurs constantly coming at you over and over, and it's going to get boring super quickly. Fortunately, Nate knew about this, told me, so I was able to unlock some new stuff, so I wasn't just playing the same thing over and over.
So what if
that doesn't make sense?
So what if you what if you skip the cutscenes like Corey does? Like, do you just never unlock anything else?
It just needs to have credit that you watched it.
Okay.
While I was streaming, I wasn't going to watch all the cutscenes. I was sitting there skipping them.
Okay.
You can go back through and watch them later on if you want to. I mean, it's Capcom. It probably have some goofy story to it. There's the story. It's something multiversal. They're trying to do experiments and gather humans, or the AI is trying to gather data on humans and how we react to different situations. So they're pitting you into hordes against. It's weird. Yeah, it's an AI takeover thing. It's really great this time of year, or this time right now when AI is taking over everything IRL.
You're skipping cutscenes, Ken?
But yeah, this is a game you don't play for cutscenes.
Just as people were starting to tell you and Corey apart, you're going to start skipping cutscenes.
Look, if I'm playing like a Mass Effect or an Elder Scrolls or something like that, I'm watching the cutscenes. When it comes to more or less a free-to-play game like this, it's not free-to-play. But a game like this, you don't need to watch cutscenes. They don't matter.
It's like that awesome Titanfall story. Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Carry on.
Can you tell me a thing about Titanfall 1's campaign? Not 2, because Campaign 2 is freaking amazing. And everyone should experience that. Titanfall 1, no one knows anything that's going on. But, yeah, that's Exoprimal. If you don't have Game Pass, it's a $60 game. I don't know if I'd spend that, to be completely honest, because I see this game is going to go down in a few years. But if you got money to burn and you like these type of games and you don't care, yeah, you're going to have fun for $60.
So would 40 be more of an appropriate price, you feel like, coming out of the gate?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I would spend $40 on this. And it's got a physical version?
There you go. You can have it forever.
That's actually wild. I did not think they would make an actual physical version of this game. That's cool.
There you go. Come to Achievement Fest in 4 years and play it again.
The game preservation part of me loves that it's on physical. I love that. It's great.
Not the cheap ass part.
Oh, no. He loves that it's on Game Pass and didn't have to pay for it. Because otherwise I would have been saving up all my Microsoft rewards for the next couple of months, so I got this. But yeah, that's all I got on Exoprimal.
Recommend overall? Yes.
Oh yeah, highly recommend. If you got Game Pass and you don't care about your tag, I would throw it on there. And I totally say that because I know there's no chance in hell Sarah's putting this on her tag.
It's just the honestly, the game just doesn't appeal to me. I'm not in the hero shooters. I'm really not into dinosaurs.
I love dinosaurs. Hero shooters, dinosaurs. You got me. Horde mode, Left 4 Dead type.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, this was a Kenny game off the bat.
This is the antithesis of me.
Good word.
Fancy word. That's the educational portion.
See, I'm just hitting all notes tonight.
But what is a Sarah game? What do you want to talk about?
So speaking of Game Pass games, I also played a Game Pass game, but before I talk about this Game Pass game, I want to briefly touch on a game I finished shortly before this. So, because this kind of ties into Achievement Fest, so I borrowed BioShock German edition from Triple Triad and realized in June I should probably play it and return it to him. So the problem is I started this game in the middle of a race to 97% completion with Wild West. He ended up beating me because I started this game. So just putting that out there. That
just blame Triple Triad.
Yes, it's Triple Triad's fault for loaning me this game and me putting it off for 11 months.
Yes. Sounds right.
So, yeah, it was fun to play BioShock again. This is the 4th stack I've completed of it. So I've done about one per year over the last 4 years. So yeah, I've done the Korean, Japanese, regular 360, and now I've completed the German stack. So the only one I've not done is the remastered.
And when you play those, are the menus different in game, or is it all?
So the Japanese menu was the only one that was different. Oh yeah, small
Google Translate.
I don't remember. That one was the second time I played it, which I think was 3 years ago. The Korean one was the first one I played, and that was full English. You wouldn't have been able to tell the difference. But special PSA for foreign stacks, like the German one, So the Brass Balls achievement, you have to switch your region, download the title update, thinking you're in Germany, and that's how you are able to complete the game.
What?
Yes.
That's weird.
But you get the free tonics and all that, but you have to, if you want to complete this game, you have to download the title update while being in Germany. I mean, your region, that is. Unless you have oodles of money to fly to Germany legitimately, but yeah,
the heck with that.
But yeah, just a PSA on if you're doing these BioShock title updates on the newer console, you have to switch your region to download the appropriate title update. So yeah,
That's good to know for anyone that for some reason wants to do a German version of BioShock,
or the Korean, or the Japanese.
At least there's work.
or the others.
But yeah, easy workaround. But just a PSA because I couldn't figure out why mine wouldn't unlock at first, and it's because I didn't have the DLC installed.
Interesting.
So, anyways, on to my actual game. So I'm not going to say a whole lot about this game because I think it's already been on the panel twice. So the game that I have played is Grim Fandango.
That's awesome.
I personally think it's the worst of the 3 LucasArts games that was put on Game Pass.
Somebody just yelled at you.
You know who loves this game?
Chewie?
Yeah.
Yes, he is probably screaming in Scottish.
Oh God!
Fist in the air with his kilt, yelling out Braveheart style. I got that right?
Yeah.
Close enough.
That's where Wookiees are from, absolutely.
So, but, because I think Nate had talked about this with the tank controls, like, that is definitely very obnoxious.
That's a dumb achievement they let you.
It is so dumb, but, I think Michelle had mentioned in the past, too, that, like, it's annoying at first, but you eventually get the hang of it, and,
sure.
But the problem is I played this in very, very slow settings over the last 6 months. So every time I picked it up, I was like, oh yeah, that's right, it has tank controls, and had to, get reacquainted with the game, reoriented, and, but, yeah, for those who are living under a rock, this is a point-and-click LucasArts game from back in the day. I really honestly can't say anything extra special about it. Sorry. But yeah, so I did finish it finally, before I left for Achievement Fest, but I know it's only a 6 to 8 hour game, but it felt so painfully long.
Oof.
Thomas and I were talking about it, and it's just like, this game felt like an eternity, even though it's only 6 to 8 hours, but I think it's just because I feel like the majority of games that most people are playing, like, anything under or over 4 hours just feels like an eternity. Like, it's just the era and feel that we're in.
I think too,
yeah, most point and clicks do feel like an eternity.
Yeah, I think you had mentioned that you played this over a span of months, and that only serves to make it feel even longer. You play point and clicks generally because obviously trying to figure out the puzzles in them, but also because of the narrative and what's actually happening. They're very story driven generally. And if you're breaking up the story in these once every other month sort of chunks, you lose the thread of it and it becomes less engaging.
That is 100% true. I probably did not do a service to this game. I'm sure Chewie is probably yelling at me for the way that I played it. But the other thing is, like man, because it's broken up in 4 years. And year 1 took quite some time. I'm like, man, I know it says 6 to 8, but year 1 took me, I think close to 2 hours, hour and a half. And then,
oof.
Yeah, and year 2 was long, but yeah, year 3 and year 4 were very short. So I was able to wrap up the last part of the game very, very quickly. But as far as the achievements, there's a lot of missables in this game. So I know most people on this panel are anti-guide, but I can't see.
No.
How are you going to know all those achievements? Like, there are so many that are easily missable.
It's a point and click. Use a guide.
We went through
get out.
we did the happy medium where we used the guide, but we listened to all the dialogue. We didn't skip it. So
Skip it.
No, you jerk.
Now the characters. Of the
Funny game.
Games that had come out in this genre, right? So it was this game, Grim Fandango, Full Throttle, and Day of the Tentacle. Is that the other one?
Day of the Tentacle.
Yes.
So
yes.
They're of those three. This was my favorite, and I thought it was like because I loved the characters. I was the most invested in what they were doing and their stories and whatever else. And if you mash through, it's a 6 to 8 hour button mashing game that has no value to you. And it will. I'm not saying that's what you did, Sarah, because I don't know, but like
I could see it. I could look at her face.
Like, right, like gameplay wise and all that. Like, it doesn't play as smoothly as the other ones. There is sort of a little bit of like a jankiness in walking around. So, just in terms of those real surface level elements of the game, if that's how you're playing it, it is probably the bomb them. But in terms of the writing and the characters, I know there are people who will make an argument for Day of the Tentacle. I feel like Full Throttle is usually kind of the one at the bottom of the list. But
that's
for
my
me,
favorite.
Was my favorite of the bunch.
My favorite was Full Throttle.
Why?
Go figure.
I liked the humor of Full Throttle. Like, I really... Like, I know it's cheesy, but the guy repeatedly, I'm not putting my lips on that. Like, oh, it tickled my soul.
You like those macho guys.
Yes, I'm really into beefcakes.
Yeah.
Anyways. And then there's a song on, when you go to that house, the guy that's singing about the apocalypse, that song is so catchy, and it's amazing. And if you actually listen to it, it's quite fantastic.
Yeah, all of those are just...
So, I'm sorry guys, Grim Fandango was a little lackluster for me. Like, and it's due to playing in disjointed pieces, for sure.
I find it funny that I brought an anti-Sarah game and you brought an anti-Kenny game.
So, yeah, like I said, I know this game has been talked about to death, so I'm guessing nobody has any further questions.
It's awesome to bring up other viewpoints and because as much as a game may be beloved by 90% of players, there are the 10% who don't get it or it's not for them, and it's always good to hear the different viewpoints that are out there.
And as a whole, I enjoy point and click games. Like, I've played a lot of them, and I love the Wallace and Gromit games. Those were awesome. But yeah, this one did not jingle my jollies.
Aww. Now
Nice.
I can't tell you from Rocker.
Because he and I have the same haircut, partially, so, I mean
kind of. Soccer mom. I don't know. I never think of those games as point and click. I think of them more as, I don't know. You walk around and chat with people.
That's that general
click on things.
adventure
Did it have
catch-all that TA has
Did it
for
have
these?
an inventory?
Yeah, his inventory.
Yeah. But I think, too, these games, that one doesn't have as many red herrings, and that's definitely something. I get what you're saying, Al, because, like, there's this, like, sort
that's
of
nice.
sub-classification within point and clicks where, like, I feel like there are just always, like, a billion things in your inventory that you never use. And I don't think that's as prevalent in Grim Fandango.
Who was that big dude that you really liked?
Gerhoof? No, it's not Gerhoof. That's someone else. Oh man, what's his name? The
sidekick, the large
Yeah.
Garfield.
Yeah.
creature.
Oh my gosh. Gerhoof is from
It's on the tip
Once
of
Upon a
everyone's tongue.
Monster. That was not the right, but it's
That's
something.
an amazing choice.
Something like that. Well, it's also Tim Schafer, right? So it's, not that far removed. Oh man.
Okay.
Something with the
Like 10 minutes from now when we're in the next game,
I know,
someone's
it's
just going to
gonna
remember
be
it.
like, oh, that's his name. Oh man.
Oh, Glottis.
Glottis, okay.
Gladys?
Definitely a Glottis.
GLaDOS?
GLO.
I'm glad I was the only one that just thought horrible.
Not
TIS,
Gladys.
yeah.
I just heard GLaDOS, but yeah.
Oh, GLaDOS.
Yes, Glottis. There we go. It's the vocal cords, or part of the vocal cords, but also the name of a character. Right. I'll remember that next time.
All right. Well, if that's it for Grim Fandango, Michelle, why don't you go next?
I will.
What game are you? Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
I'm really glad you brought a new game today, Kenny, because I think we're all doing retreads otherwise, but that is okay. I am going to talk about Heartbox, which I think I might have talked about on the panel ages ago. So statute of
Have you?
limitations. I may have brought it up in passing. And the reason why is because Heartbox is a free-to-play puzzle game on Windows platform. So it's a great game for loading up on your
Ooh.
laptop and trying to play here and there. It is a sort of kind of physics puzzler. It's all 2D, single screen. You play as a screen, essentially, and you have to navigate the screen from wherever point it starts the puzzle level in at to like a little red bucket, essentially, like a red wooden box kind of thing. And they introduce different types of elements to the game that progressively get more different. So at the beginning, you're just dealing with things like springs and, maybe elements that move back and forth. And by the end, there are magnetized platforms that you have to use to attract the box and move it into things. Or there will be there will be like bowling balls you have to use to push items so that you can get the box into the final destination. It's an okay puzzle game, and especially for free, it's good to start with. It's easy to get on your tag. The first achievement is for getting 100 coins, so that's not something you would necessarily do like right away on your first level, as I recall, but you would get it on your tag pretty quickly. So if it's something where you have a little hesitation, you may want to keep that in mind. I think TA has it listed as a 20 to 25 hour completion, and it's because of this. The game has 200 levels, so it's 5 worlds, 40 levels apiece. And it's honestly not so bad, because when you're playing the levels initially, you can hit the little idea button in the lower left, and that just shows you how to finish the level. And then you can just repeat the steps. Not bad at all. And it is one of those free-to-play sort of ad-based games. And I don't know if it's just the way that it is on my my Surface, but I imagine it's the way the ads are for everybody. The ads are not actually videos, even though it says watch this video. It's just a static ad that comes up. You hit X to dismiss it, and you're on your way.
One of those.
Right. So it doesn't... The ads are annoying, but they're not super obtrusive. That's great. What makes the game take a long time is that each level has to be played 4 different ways. The first way is your standard way. And also keep in mind, too, you have to play them in succession. So you play the stage the first way, which is just normal, no time limit. You're just looking at the different elements in the puzzle and trying to get to the end. The second way is the energy mode. The energy mode basically means you have a limited amount of time. This can be difficult because of memorizing patterns, but if you want to, you can quote unquote buy energy by watching an ad, which is, click on something, dismiss it, and now you'll get more time to do the level. Not super terrible either. Once you finish that mode, I think it might actually be called discharge mode. The next one after that is this mode where there are these flying boxing gloves that come toward the monitor as you're playing. So while you're trying to navigate the monitor to the ending, you have to make sure to tap on the gloves, and you can do this either with a touch screen or with a mouse. You have to tap on the gloves so that they don't touch the monitor, but this is also not timed. And then there's a final mode, which is the rubber ducky mode, where now instead of playing as the monitor, you're playing as a rubber duck, which has slightly different physics. And instead of getting into a red box, you're trying to get the rubber duck into a bathtub. Again, physics are slightly different because the duck is a lighter weight. And while you're trying to maneuver this duck to the end of the level, footballs are coming at you, and it's timed. So, yeah, playing each of the levels 4 times is a little monotonous, but they're different enough where it's not awful. The problem that I've been having with it, and I didn't realize this till very recently, is actually on my Surface, which again may not be an issue. I'm on a Surface 6. It's, a few years old at this point and wasn't the top level one when I bought it. I was playing through this one stage and really struggling because you had to drop the box through some spikes that would come in and out. And there was just no way I could drop the box down fast enough. I kept losing every time. And I thought to myself, I think I might need to close the game and restart it. And I did, and it moved faster. So the game actually starts lagging as you're playing it, making the stuff harder to do for the most part. So every few levels, I have to start it, I have to close it and reopen it so it moves at the speed it's supposed to move at. The other issue I have is my Surface, unfortunately, has a couple of little dead spots on the touchscreen. So every now and again, I'm sliding a magnet up to do what I have to do, and it's just like, oh wait, your touchscreen doesn't work there, and then the box goes flying off into the distance, which isn't super exciting. All of that said, it's actually a pretty solid little puzzle game, and for free, that's totally fine. You can purchase the ability to get rid of the ads. There's really no reason to do that. It's a decent game if you're into preloading for certain contests. It doesn't have super, super high ratios. It's, I think, 2,600 for the 1,000. But there's a lot of stuff that's very backloaded if you wait. So there are achievements attached to buying different cosmetics. Buy all the purple skins. Buy all the pink skins. Buy all the yellow skins. And these are things you can obviously wait to do. The 3 achievements I have left are for beating the game in those other 3 game modes. So I've opened up every level in the basic game mode, but I haven't done the other ones. And I think those are all 70 base and worth like 350 to 400 TA. So you can just work on them for whatever time and leave it so you just have that last level. So I'm doing what I typically do in puzzle games. I'm working backwards. So I started at the back level and I'm working my way back to the easiest ones at the beginning. So when I get there, I can just knock it out and be done with it. All that to say, if you're looking for a free-to-play game on a portable device that you have, if you're interested in keeping achievement streaks going, it's completable but may be difficult. So if you're not super into your completion percentage, you could do worse than Heartbox. I've enjoyed it for the most part. I've just gotten somewhat frustrated on those rubber ducky levels where you have footballs and a timer and the lag that seems to be happening from the game, whether it's from my Surface or just from the way the game is coded itself.
So, I don't know. You might have talked about this. I'm not sure, but I didn't recognize this game. And I was actually watching a couple of videos on this. This actually looks fun. I mean, I wouldn't want to play this with a mouse and keyboard, but if this was on my phone, I would totally try this.
I don't honestly. I try to look back always and see what's been discussed before bringing something to the panel. And there's a part in my brain that thinks maybe I discussed this at some point because I just hadn't really played anything else, but it's possible I didn't. And it is a pretty fun game, like figuring out the different puzzles. And the fact that it has that built-in mechanic where you can see the solution really helps, especially when you're going through and doing the replays of the other levels. So like I said, right. I finished the initial run of 200. I wouldn't recommend doing it that way. I would recommend doing the levels and doing all 4 of them concurrently while you know the solution to the puzzle. Because for a lot of them now, I've had to replay the first version of it because the second one is the timed one. And I just don't have enough time to take the puzzle in and then try it out and do the trial and error to figure out how the puzzle works. And for the most part, it's not super twitchy, but like the puzzle I was most recently doing, it involves magnets and spikes. You have to raise the box up just enough so it gets over these spikes and then raise it with a magnet on the left side. And like I said, because of my touchscreen problem and mouse and keyboard works, but I'm not super good at using mouse to do these things. That was a pain in the neck to get through on a timer. And I don't know how I'm going to do it when I'm also trying to knock away gloves and footballs. I haven't gotten that far yet. But it is fun. It is a good game to have in your back pocket, just ready to go if you need something to play. If you have the time to play something casually, like in between things, it's a good pick.
So when you say there's 200 levels, is there 200 different levels and 4 versions of each one? So there's like, you got to play like 800 puzzles?
Correct.
Or is there like 50
Correct.
levels?
Yeah. So again, it's
Ooh, that's beefy.
That's a lot.
That is very beefy.
Yeah, so it's 5 worlds, and each world is split up into 40 levels, which is broken down into 20 levels apiece, because each set of 20 levels features a different element. So, like I said before, there's springs that are one of them. There's these like ninja stars that kind of rotate back and forth that you have to avoid. And they're progressively more difficult. So the first stage is always, here's how you use the toaster. Okay, now you know how to use the toaster. Now we're going to introduce the toaster and add a spring. And so that's why, like I said, there may not be a whole lot of wisdom in working backwards because you haven't learned the stuff yet. So if you're starting new, just like I said, do the levels all through. Do the first level, second, third, fourth, just knock them all out so that when you get to the end, you're already, you don't have to remember the levels that you did earlier. Like if you want to save like the first level so that you can save that achievement for later for whatever reason, go for it. But otherwise, just play them sequentially as you go through. But it's a 20-25 hour completion because of that, because you do have to play through the levels quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a lot. Sounds very free-to-play-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, free-to-play Windows puzzle game immediately made me think of Tinker, and that's what I kept picturing in my mind as you're describing it, but obviously Tinker didn't have, like, things hurtling at you, and...
I don't think I've played Tinker.
That was Games for Windows Live.
Oh, okay. I recognize the game tile now, but no, I didn't play that one.
Okay. Never mind, you won't be able to answer my questions Harry, from that then.
No, unfortunately not.
Yeah, the Heartbox doesn't look like a terrible game.
It isn't.
Do a whole lot worse with puzzle games.
It isn't, and it similar to what you said with Exoprimal, like it's completable. It's just it's going to take some time to go through it. There are a couple puzzles that are frustrating, but because you can always look at the solve thing at the beginning, you can find the answer. You don't have to try to pull up a YouTube video against it or anything. It's got that built in already. Sort of the way like Active Neurons has it, where you can watch the solution and then play the game.
So have you been trial and erroring your way through these so far? You haven't used a guide from what it sounds like?
When I played through the original set of 200 levels, I played them without any hints. I just went through them. But now that I'm going through and trying to do the other ones, typically what I'll do is I'll start with the first level and try it on my own. And if it takes me more than like 4 or 5 tries, I'll just watch the solution for how to get through it and then apply that to the next couple of next variants of that level.
Okay.
So the variants don't change anything other than the ones where you need to be mindful of the fact that you have stuff flying at you. So you just need to tap on them to dismiss them.
All right. If nobody else has anything to add to Heartbox, Elle, why don't you round us out for the game showcase? What game do you want to talk about?
Oh, man. This one. Woo. Brand new game from 2005.
Woo! Let's hear it.
It is a launch title, Condemned Criminal Origins. And this came out 2005, and I added it to my July 2011 Bean Dive. Didn't play it proper until 2016, I think. And unfortunately, I guess kind of like your Grim Fandango experience, I played it piecemeal. It would show up on RTDL, and it showed up this month on RTTL, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to complete this game. And I had one level left. And so to tell you what this game is, it is a survival horror game. But it's not what you would think of as survival horror, because I always think of like Resident Evil, but this is more hand-to-hand combat with occasional shooting. So you're a detective, and there's a serial killer you're trying to hunt down, named Serial Killer X, or SKX, and there's 10 levels, not too many. Each one is about half hour to an hour, with a couple that are less time than that, depending if you know what you're doing. And you go through and you do detective stuff, like you see some evidence that you have to pick up, like some fingerprints or anything that you would find at a murder scene. And then you send that in, and since it's 2005, you have this really old-looking cell phone. It's pretty hilarious. And then you send that in, and it's fully voice-acted. The graphics, for the time, I thought were fine. They're definitely aged now. It's an 18-year-old game. This game is also pretty famous for having only 970 gamer score. I think there was supposed to be DLC added, but they screwed up. Do you remember the story with that, Michelle?
I do. The DLC was meant to bring the game to 1,000, but Microsoft's policy was that the original 1,000 had to be included with the game. So since the game only released at 970, they couldn't release DLC to bring it to the 1,000. That's if my recollection of it. So that started right. It so just stopped at 970.
Very strict. Fascinating. So my RTTL achievement, I believe, was to... Well, I wasn't sure what it was, so I just went through the last level. And the game is also collectible heavy. So there's 6 birds you have to find at each level, as well as 3 pieces of metal. So once you find the first bird in each level, you get an achievement. And once you find all 6 birds in each level, you get an achievement as well. And there's an achievement at the end for all the birds and all the medals, which are the propaganda reports, which I will get back to later. Along the way, there's achievements for beating the entire game only using melee weapons, so no guns, which is actually not that big a deal. The guns are really nothing special. And you can't even find ammo when you have guns. You have to, whatever you pick up the gun at, it's how many bullets you have. And you wind up with a taser, which you wind up using for just about everyone anyway. You tase the enemy when you see them, and then they get stunned. And then you can melee them, or even take their weapon from them and use it on them. So there's not much combat in the game, and I don't want to say it's clunky, but it's just kind of there. You whack them with the weapon, you back away, or you could hit the left trigger to block, and then you basically proceed to blunt force them to death. Sometimes they will go up on their knees, and then you can do a fatality type move to them, either snap their neck or slam their face to the ground. Fun stuff like that, family friendly. So for 2005, it's not bad. So I went through and beat the last level, and I noticed that I did not get the achievement for finding every type of melee weapon and firearm. So I had to go back through some of the levels, and I found, and there's a chapter select. And
that's good.
Yeah, that's good. But I didn't know which things I had found, because it doesn't track that. Pretty old, it doesn't track that kind of stuff. Understandable. So I did some levels over that I thought I'd do too many times, and I wound up getting that achievement for the Melee Mayhem. and another one for finding all the guns, which is another one. So those pop for me, no problem. But there's another achievement for finding all the medals that did not pop for me. And upon looking at the guides and the solutions, people claim that it is buggy. And there's all kinds of theories about this, that when you do the chapter select, and say you did chapter select and you got 3 medals the first time, all 3 of 3, and then you went in and did it a second time, going for the birds, and then you only got 2 medals, people theorize that you would only have 2 medals found in that stage. But it didn't matter. I wound up going through all the levels again and doing all the medals again, and it still didn't pop. And I randomly came across an X360A forum post where someone said, here's what I did. I did the first level over, and when it was done, instead of going to the main menu and starting over, there's an option right after for restart chapter. And then when you restart the chapter, it remembers which medals you picked up. So when I got the first medal, it said, oh, you still have 3 of 3. So I said, maybe they're onto something. And sure enough, when I got the second medal, it randomly popped for me. So that achievement was the death of me. All the other ones popped nice with the chapter select, but that one did not. But if anybody hasn't played this yet or is in the middle of a run and missed something, I guess the point is just stick with it. I got the completion. And I'm done with this one.
Nice.
I wanted to point out something interesting that I noticed. And I was talking to Michelle about this. There's 2 endings to this game. And one is for doing one thing, and one is for doing the other thing. I don't want to spoil too much. I know it's an old game, but I'm the anti-spoiler guy, so I have to keep it like that. Basically, you do something nice at the end and something not so nice. So, once you do one of them, you watch the credits, and you just hit continue, and it brings you right to the last boss, and you fight him, and then you can do the other option. So I was surprised to see that one of the options has 9,000 more track gamers than the other option, because you could do both of them in the span of 5 minutes.
That's weird.
Yeah. So it's very interesting to me.
I don't know how you would play that and not just be like, I'm curious and want to do the other one.
Oh yeah, I was talking to you about this.
Yeah,
that's right. And then we were discussing a similar game where you could do that.
Spec Ops. Spec Ops had the same thing. Ops. So at the end of Spec Ops, there's a moment where you can take an action during what looks like a cutscene. And when Elle and I played it, both of us didn't take any action because we didn't even realize that was an option. So in going for sort of and trying to wrap up some stuff in there that we could wrap up, we did that. And then after that, there's still another point where you have a couple choices to make. But yeah, it was the same idea that one had been tracked significantly more than the other. And I think in that case, it might have been a matter of people not even realizing they could have gone through to make that other choice. But yeah, that seems to be a thing. I think, we got to remember, we are a small, community within a small community of people that are looking to try to get as much as we can out of all of our games.
Yeah, but still, it's a story option.
I'm with you on that.
I'd be curious to just all right, what if I pick the other one?
Right, I would at least check if I could do that without playing a whole bunch of the game again.
Exactly. I mean, it's very possible people didn't realize that. But even if you just did the chapter select and did the whole level again, it's not that long. But you could literally just hit continue and you start right there. And unfortunately, I've heard that the sequel is not as good story-wise, and I'm not sure about gameplay. Oh yeah, the first game also has the second game also has a big multiplayer element that the first game does not. So that's all done. I just have to play the campaign now. So I'm going to add that to my game collection. So 2 can show up now in my...
So I did notice this is backwards compatible. That's impressive for being a 2005 game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I loved playing it on my Xbox One, my Xbox Series X.
Series X. You're really pushing.
Yeah, I'm pushing. Yes. I don't know. I love that stuff. It boots up super fast. On the 360, if you try to look at the achievement list, it takes forever, but you could just start and back together and look at achievements real quick. Backwards compatibility is amazing.
So besides the technology, did it age well from 2005 to be in 2023 now?
I mean, considering half the crap we play is way worse looking than this, I think it's fine.
We?
Yeah, you too.
Don't you lump me in with your East Asia soft BS? I
mean, you play Vampire Survivors, right? It's great, but you can't say it looks amazing. Sometimes.
Okay, fair.
Yep.
I take back what I said.
Got him.
I take back what I said. You got me.
It's just some games have the pixel art, and it's fine. I enjoy it, and graphics are probably the last thing that I look at. If I'm playing a Forza Horizon,
where?
Well, let me finish.
To be that person. Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
When I play Forza Horizon, I'll say, "Oh, that looks beautiful," but I'm not really thinking about that when I'm playing. I'm playing. So now you could be that person, Michelle.
Vampire Survivors does as a stylistic choice. The agedness of Condemned is not a stylistic choice. It's just how the game looks now. So it's not really a fair comparison to compare the two. And I think, if I recall correctly, just from the little bit I saw when you were playing Condemned, it sort of has this almost washed out sort of look. It's like a lot of shooter-esque games of that era. It's very gray and brown and beige. And the character models look fine. They're recognizable as people. It's not like you're looking at Final Fantasy VII where everyone has giant forearms. But it looks its age.
Of course it is. Sure.
That's okay.
I said as much.
But it doesn't. Right. But it doesn't feel like.
It doesn't discourage me from playing.
Feel super old. Yeah. It's not a detriment to the game, really.
Exactly. Right.
So another fun thing I noticed to be the Nate of this panel, it has 50 achievements. That's a lot for an early 360 title.
Yeah,
Well, was that the standard back then? 50?
Oh, you know what?
Or for a full-fledged game?
That probably also messed up the whole game scripting, because 50 was the max.
Yeah, 50 was the max, yeah.
Before Orange Box did 99, 50 was the max you could have. What else was I going to say? Oh, one thing I was going to say is that it is, I don't know if scary is the right word, but if you're playing with headphones on, there are jump scares, but not atmospheric. It's more like the enemies come out of nowhere and you have to kill them. So, but while it is a jump scare, it is helpful to have the headphones so you can hear. Oh, it's coming from behind me, or it's coming from the side of me. So it was actually, the sound design is amazing. And in 2005, I wouldn't be playing this with headphones on. I'd be playing it on a small TV probably with it's funny how technology's changed. Now,
wild.
Right?
I would have been playing with headphones.
You would have been?
Oh yeah, I had Turtle Beaches at the time.
2005.
But the Turtle Beaches at that point had
100 wires,
20 feet of cable,
exactly.
And you would plug in with the red and white audio cords.
Yep, I had those, and it came with this middleman type of stand. It was weird.
I do have to bang the drum. I always bang with a lot of these games, though. Condemns environments and scares, because a lot of it's just sort of the tension that's generally in the air with everything that's happening and the crime that you're solving. It's narrative. The more time you put between gameplay, the more you're ruining the thread of that. And so you're not actually, you may not be interested in it at all. That's completely, totally, you may play Condemned and feel like stuff is obvious and it doesn't do anything for you, and that's fine. And that's completely your take. But if you're playing it in a way where you're playing for, 2 chapters in 1 month and then 8 months later you're playing the next 2 chapters, you don't really even remember what you learned in the first 2 chapters. So the continuity is broken. You don't really get into the mind space where the game could potentially put you if you sat down and played it start to finish in a shorter period of time.
That's absolutely true. But the game got back at me by making me replay all the chapters 2 or 3 times each anyway, so...
but you already knew it was coming, so...
I generally... Yeah. But yes, it's a good story, especially for that time period where... Oh, and I was looking at the launch titles to see what you were talking about, Michelle, with the calendar thing. If I completed any other games that came out that month.
Yeah.
But there was some easy, like, NBA, 2K5 with 5 achievements for 1,000 gamer score. Some of those famous ones.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, not too many easy guys in there. Call of Duty 2 was probably next best launch title, and that one's probably going to look prettier.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
I was waiting for it.
Took 2 hours.
Right.
Pretty.
Yeah.
All right.
I say the race cars are still going.
Wow.
Can you, gamble on them or anything?
No,
I'd be out
it's
there
just
placing bets.
Just a local track. It's midnight and they're still going
Awesome.
on a Wednesday night.
Wild.
All right, anyway, that was Condemned Criminal Origins.
All right. Nice brand new game for everyone.
Oh, but yeah, I was surprised.
It's also funny that
I was going to say, I was surprised for an 18-year-old game that I had never heard about achievements being troublesome for some people. That's what I was going to say. And, 10,000 people have completed it. It's not like no one's completed it.
But it has almost 100,000 starters.
Yeah.
There's one of 2 things there. Either the people that complete the game didn't have those issues because it's clearly not glitchy for everybody, or they completed it over a decade ago and didn't remember having those issues at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess if you use a guide from the beginning and you just get everything in a row without missing anything, you probably don't have those issues also. But I had missed some stuff in some chapters from long ago.
I also find it interesting that, keeping in theme with this episode, it's available digitally. Game from 2005. You get it digitally.
And
well, that went without saying. Everything was available physically in 2005.
there's something satisfying about putting the physical disc in the Series X and then watching, and then it's saying, "Oh, download this, download the game." And then the disc is just a prop.
All right. Well, why don't we get on to some sales? We'll let Sarah go first.
All right.
What 3 games that you've totally never talked about before would you like to recommend that's on sale?
I mean, these are going to be a shocker for people. I mean, they're going to be just absolutely shocked that I'm recommending these. So my first recommendation is Sodu Cats. Yeah, it's Sudoku, but it's cats instead of numbers, and it's super cute. Are you gonna be alright, Kenny?
I just find it's funny. These are just very Sarah games.
So, yeah, it's a super chill game. Again, yeah, it's, after a long, hard night of playing Condemned, you can just hop on Soda Cats and, crank out a puzzle or 2. If you're not fond of playing of cats, you can switch it to numbers if you want and play it traditional, but the cats are super cute and you keep unlocking them as you progress through the game. My second recommendation... Oh, I didn't even say the sale price. It is $2.49 down from $4.99. So
what a sale.
Yes, for the sale. The next one is A Kingdom for Keflings. $2.49.
Let's go.
Yes, $2.49 down from $9.99. If you haven't played this yet, please do go play it. It is the first one of the series, so it's not as graphically pretty as A World of Kathleen, but still super fun, and you should do it.
You can use your avatar.
Yes, you can use your avatar. And yes, Microsoft needs to make more of these.
And I could help with the online.
This one...
Same.
Does this one... I don't think this one has online. I thought it was A World that did.
No, it does. That's because I helped put 10 banners in everyone's thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
that was this one. I was getting
Fun.
Kingdom needs some banners.
Okay, I was getting that confused with Worlds.
World has a story. Kingdom had just...
Sorry.
that one.
Sorry,
Yeah.
it's been a decade
been a
since
while.
I've played both of them, so...
Both worth it.
So, in my last recommendation on a hot sale,
Yeah.
this is $2.24 down from $14.99. The best game ever published by Radalaka, the Count Lucanor. So
It is so fitting that this is on sale with you coming on.
I think it's on sale quite a bit, but this is a pretty good sale. It's just such a good game. It's a little adventure game. It goes dark very quickly. It's kind of weird, but it's also awesome, and it's amazing. And it's just I love this. I adore this
these
game.
graphics.
Again, stylistic choice, like
right.
Michelle said.
Right.
But I can even, to quote Redemption Denied, this is also allegedly his favorite rat as well. So.
Oh.
Peek behind the curtain. Elle recruited Sarah for this week, and he wanted to keep it a secret from everyone. He didn't want to tell us who it was. I didn't look at our show doc, but had I done that, where it has, special guests and there's 3 games listed, I would have immediately known who it was just by looking at these games.
It's
like, oh yeah, this has to be Sarah.
Yeah.
Who else could this possibly be?
It definitely is a very B list. So, but yeah, that is what I got. And yeah, if you have not played the Count Lucanor, please get it. It's $2.24. It's a really, really great game.
Michelle, get on it. I'll give you $1.12.
I mean,
Plus tax.
listen, Samsung people's got $25 in free money, so,
Not all of us.
Oh.
Some of us saw that message too late and weren't able to get it.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
I'm very
you
sad
gotta
about
get
that.
in that
to
Wheeling and
promote
Dealing
people
channel.
downloading the Samsung Wallet, their version of Google Pay or Apple Wallet or whatever. They had some incentives, and one of the incentives was a $25 Xbox gift card.
But there was only so many gift cards, and I got into it too late.
That's what I get for working at work.
Right?
Yeah, I got to give Elle
Ridiculous.
credit because I was working at work too, and Elle texted me check Wheeling and Dealing so you can get this, and I did. So I can get you a $2.50 game as a cent game as a finder's fee.
Yay.
And then I want to hear about your take from it in the future when you guys finally do play it.
We Simon.
Yes, it'd be a great one to do a simul play.
Looks like it.
All right. Add it to our TDL.
With that $25 gift card, Michelle, what else? What do you want to recommend?
I'm actually recommending a game that isn't for myself, but I'm recommending it because it's a curiosity to me. It's the Amazing American Circus, and I saw it and immediately went, is this some kind of Circus Atari upgrade? Because I loved Circus Atari. But no, it's not. It's actually a collectible card game / card and board. And what drew my attention to this is that set of genres, and almost none of my people who typically track these games has played it. I have no idea what it is.
Interesting.
It's got a 3.3 rating overall on TA. It's only been tracked by 220 people, with 9 who have completed it. It is $5.99, down from $19.99. But when I look at games like these and I don't see folks like Chronos tracked, Makes me curious. So I figured I would just bring it up that it is on sale. I don't know if it's had a discount before because TA just lists this most recent price reduction as the price reduction for the game. It came out in 2021, so it's been available for a little while. But yeah, somebody play it and let me know how it is because I don't have the first clue. But The Amazing American Circus is on sale for $5.99 this week.
All right.
I got a game.
Well, oh, you do?
Yeah.
What game?
Yeah, I just figured it out. It's an easy gamer score game that I don't think I was privy to because it was too expensive. It's called No Thing.
Well, what is it?
I don't know. It's a platformer, it says, and it was very expensive. It was $2, and now it's half price. It's $1. Hey, Michelle.
Don't push your luck.
That's Samsung money to use. No, I don't know what this is. No Thing in big caps. Oh, it's an easy
full
game
disclosure, I already bought it.
You played it?
No, I just bought it.
You just bought it now? There you go.
I actually bought it on my car ride to Terre Haute.
I'm sure you
wow.
could have borrowed that from someone and use that $1 towards a sandwich, dude. Do that.
Well, I've also been picking up stuff that way. I actually have things to offer other people.
Oh, so you don't have No Thing?
Yeah.
I get it. I got my own joke. Somebody has 20 hours in this game.
All right. Well, if you don't want to buy any games, you can go ahead and grab 2 of the last Games of Gold games that are available now until the end of the month. We got Darkwood and When the Past Was Around.
And then Rip?
You got about... I think we got another month, if I remember correctly.
Right.
And if you're listening to this day of or shortly thereafter, you only have a few days to grab Darkwood. That's going out July 31st will be the last day you can grab that. So get on that. Grab one of the last Games of Gold games.
Yeah, buy me that one too, Michelle.
But we do have some Game Pass stuff. Available now is Serious Sam Siberian Mayhem. I know nothing about it other than it's a shooter and there's one unobtainable, so yeah. Completionist beware. On July 31st, we have Venba coming to console and PC. August 1st is Celeste. August 15th is Everspace 2. August 18th is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And August 29th is Sea of Stars.
Finally.
There's a lot of stuff there I don't recognize or... hey. But we got more Game Pass games. That's all that matters.
The cover on Sea of Stars looked pretty. That's about all I noticed.
It's going to be good.
That's a
JRPG.
It's by the guys
turn-based
who
RPG.
made The Messenger, and it's going to be amazing, probably, if you're into turn-based RPGs. But it's there is a demo available, and my understanding from someone who'd played the demo is that the worlds are interlinked. So if you've played The Messenger, there's going to be stuff that's recognizable through Sea of Stars.
Awesome.
And the humor and all that's definitely very much intact. So like some of the naming conventions for the characters, if you read it, you're like, oh, is that what that says? Okay. So I'm very much looking forward to playing Sea of Stars.
Nice.
Nice.
All right. Well, with that, we also have some games leaving Game Pass in the next couple of days. We have Marvel's Avengers, which, once again, running theme of the show, will be delisted on September 30th. Oh. So this is also one of the last times you'll be able to pick this up. The Ascent is leaving, along with 2 Point Campus, Dreamscaper, and Expeditions Rome. You can grab all those games now, or try to completely Try to complete them very quickly, which honestly isn't going to happen with any of them because they're all long games. But with that, let's go to Brag Camp. Take it away, Michelle.
All right. In completions. This is a new name to me. Anyway, we have Trap Chef Sanji at 200 completed games. Zwavel Dioxide is at 600 completed games. JZarp 43 has reached 700 completed games. Yinga Garten has reached the super exciting milestone of 1,000 completed games. Ross, who made it very deep into G-Task this year, is at 1,050 completed games. Isrit102 has hit 1,350 completed games, only 1,300 of which are Mortal Kombats. And Sangrias has reached 3,000 completed games, which is just an enormous number.
Crazy.
Congratulations,
that is
everyone.
Insane.
Is he number one in completions, or is Red way ahead of him?
I don't know.
That's an excellent question. Somebody with better TA food than me, you could find it.
I'll
Besides
see
me,
if I
you mean?
can, but yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be able to. But that's
I was thinking L.
Okay, you want me to just read the next section then while we're thinking?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. In streaks, Yinga Garten is currently on a 50-day win streak. This is not a gamer tag I'm familiar with. Henki?
Mm-hmm.
NK?
Yeah.
I believe so.
XD is currently on a 100-day win streak, as well as RPG Davy. Legless Hamster and Toadstyle Venom. I know, that is an awesome gamer tag. Legless Hamster. Him and she is on a 200-day win streak, as well as Toadstyle Venom. Stega is on a 250-day achievement win streak. Z Drunken Monkeys is on a 750-day win streak. Surf Biscuit, another awesome gamer tag, is on a 1,400-day achievement win streak. Unky Tim Fu, 2450-day achievement win streak. Prolux is currently on a 2,700-day win streak. Just kidding, BFF Brew. I know how to say your name. And Mad Eye Pad Eye is currently on a 3,800-day win streak. And then Neo, Nerdy Neo, correct, right? He's on a 2-year achievement win streak.
Wild.
All right, I'm going to break right back in here with the completed games tally thingamajigger. My settings are different.
Okay.
So I don't see Sangrias at 3,000 completions.
Yeah, I was just going to say he's at a very measly 2,935.
Oh, he uses the bad settings.
Yep, and I just
so
come on, man.
I can't tell you for sure, but what I can tell you is of Sangrias, I see 2,936 completions. That actually puts Sangrias at 6th on TA.
6?
Correct.
There are 5 people with more completions.
Yes,
what
and
the crap?
To answer the question, Sarah's thinking Redemption is not number 1. That would be Smirnoff.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
And how many?
That's
Smirnoff has 3,253 completions. Red is 43 games behind that.
He might get it this weekend. He plans on
my God
going on a bender.
Ooh, triple triad?
What's there's left to complete? My goodness.
The 50 games that are released each week?
Yep.
That's fair, but still, like, my goodness, that's so many. All right. In gamer score, Luke the Duke 268 has hit 100,000. Magical Mars has hit 200,000. Trap Chef Sanji has hit 400,000 gamer score. Princet has hit 450,000 gamer score along with Toby Lynn. Black Buff has hit 750,000. A Gray Shark has hit 1.2 million gamer score. RPG Davy has hit 1.3 million gamer score. Unky Tim Fu has hit 1.4 million gamer score. Nutty Ray has hit 1.5 million. Red 047 has hit 1.7 million. And Elroy OMJ has hit 2.1 million gamer score.
Are you going to see that guy tomorrow?
Yes, I will.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm so jealous again.
I have to say I'm shocked he's going to Achievement Fest at this point in G-Task. Like, I know that Achievement Fest can help with that.
Yeah, really.
But
this is the point.
His teammate is here.
Yeah, I mean, it is and it isn't, right? Because you would hope some of the fun is socializing. But Elroy is also just, I don't know how he balances this stuff. So, but best of luck to them while they're there, because I've been reading Cronus's weekly blogs on G-Task teams, and they've got the Madden rating of 99. So they got a lot to live up to there to avoid the Madden curse. So best of luck to them while they're at Achievement Fest this weekend.
Yeah, him and Triad are still in, and they will both be there, so.
Y'all are nuts.
Yeah, speaking of nuts, in leaderboards, Chewy on Ice is now in the top 200 of the Gamerscore leaderboard for point and click, thanks in large part to Grim Fandango. He's also in the top 50 of England completed games leaderboard. Chesdo, top 200 England Gamerscore leaderboard for visual novels. Dark Lord Annabelle Davis, now third in Kentucky Gamerscore leaderboard for arcade racing. Or you could just look outside, you turn the window. Domain in the second in Washington Gamerscore leaderboard for action. Boston Greed in top 50 of the Tennessee Gamerscore leaderboard for survival. Freemhole is top 20 Minnesota TA leaderboard. That's very great. Jiblach now in the top 10 of Nova Scotia TA leaderboard for RPGs. KT Echo is now third in Ohio TA ratio leaderboard. Luke 17,000, top 20 of the TA difference leaderboard for Windows Strategery. Mental Knight, who is a good guy, now in the top 100 of the TA difference leaderboard and top 20 of the TA leaderboard for Action. No, the last top 20,000 games played leaderboard for Game Pass games? I've never seen that before. That must be new.
That's new.
And Ross in the top 500 of the difference leaderboard for Xbox Game Pass. All right. Got some new stuff here. And last but not least, another person who I believe is at the Achievement Fest, Sir Polygon, top 10 Georgia TA leaderboard for fishing.
Confirmed. He was there this evening.
Yeah. You confirmed it?
Yeah.
Right.
I saw him, had dinner with him, got to see pictures of his kid.
Whoa. You're the, what do you call it? The man of the action? I don't know. News reporter. Yeah. You let us
Man
know
on the
what's
street?
Yeah. The man on the street.
Yeah, that's it. I knew it was man on the song. I couldn't think of what it was.
You just tell us everything that happens. Try to come up with some good stories, right? Something embarrassing. Just embarrass some people. That's what I want to hear.
I can embarrass myself.
No.
I tried to check in at the wrong hotel.
Oh, yeah. What?
Yeah.
Was it in the right state?
I thought we were staying at the sleep-in. We drove there and told them our name. They're like, nope, we don't have a reservation. I had a moment of panic that I had booked it for the wrong date. Yeah, when I pulled it up, turns out we did not book the sleep-in. We are at a different hotel.
So is this your fault or Thomas?
Undisclosed.
This is my fault because I thought we were at the sleep-in.
Is Thomas not privy to your transactions?
No, we picked out the hotel together, but that was months ago.
All right. What you got to do, what my wife and I do, one of us does something like that, we email the other person the reservations. That way it's both in the mind. And it goes right on the Google Calendar.
Yeah, it was on the Google Calendar, and we have a shared email address for stuff like that. We still went to the wrong hotel.
Mr. and Mrs. pTart
Nice.
at Hotmail, AOL, Geocities.com. Yay.
Yes, that's it precisely. Yeah,
I knew it.
Please send your fan mail and duck pics there.
Duck pics on the way.
All right. Well, I think that's I don't want to say a good place to end it, but that's an interesting place.
I could talk to pTart all night long.
I think Elle may have missed something.
Uh-oh. I'm not reading that.
We could all talk to her
I
forever.
saw it.
As you can tell, but it's over 2-hour show.
All right, fine.
I hope.
Apparently, God.
We have a delicious bread camp from pTart, who messaged me to say pTart has hit 97% completion percentage.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's the highest I've ever hit. So this is a new
That's
record
crazy.
for me.
That's awesome. Congrats.
So
yeah.
Do you find yourself going back and trying stuff like older games that you didn't complete? Or is just
Yes.
are you at the point where is it generally skill that gets in the way, or
So there's a couple of things. For the most part, if X were to bring me onto an abandonment issues and I'd have to explain away a lot of mine, I'd say the majority is skill, because I have a lot of Rock Band achievements that I'm never ever going to get. Rock Band Guitar Hero.
That's what this weekend's for.
I'm hoping to do some Green Day Rock Band. That's the only game I brought with me, and hoping that some people can help me get some gold stars. Other ones, I just didn't enjoy, the game at all, and I couldn't do it, but, I mean, thankfully that doesn't seem to happen as often, but, there's a handful of games that I plan to go back to. I mean, there's literally 2 or 3, but the rest on my tag are forever abandoned, and I have zero intention of going back to.
So I actually have one more brag camp from Radnadas, which is Shannon Dar backwards. And Radnadas has hit 300,000 gamer score, but did it with Beyond the Impossible in Rare Replay, the Battletoads Turbo Tunnel thing.
Oh, nice.
I have tried that, and it is
nice.
Not easy. And then he said he tried it, and it didn't pop. It did it again. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Rad. Not us.
No, nice.
And congratulations.
Good job.
Yeah, nice for hitting it on the nose and doing it with something special, because I have yet to do that with any of my 100K milestones.
Oh, what?
I didn't even realize I hit 600K. I can't even remember what. It was a really dumb game I was playing, too. Oh, goodness. But I did hit the 97% playing Grim Fandango.
They need a stack of that so you can play it again the real way.
Not play it.
Oh,
I would, if there was a Windows stack, I would not play it.
Come on.
Smart.
But
Mouse and tank control sounds great.
full throttle Windows stack. I'll put my lips all over that.
All right.
Oh, goodness. Oh, boy. Now that's how you end the show. Perfect.
So, yeah, sorry I've been as long-winded as Elroy is.
No. You don't need to be sorry. It was fun. It's always good to talk to you. And whenever you're on, it's always an all over the place show. But yes, with that, it's getting late here for us, so we're going to go ahead and end it there. Thank you for joining us, Sarah.
Oh, no problem.
Hope Achievement Fest goes well for you.
Yeah.
Unlock a whole bunch. But yeah, all the socials and whatnot. It's down in the show notes. I'm not going to go over all that stuff. It's way too late. And I'm going to go on a goofy rant and not know what I'm saying if I do that again.
Those are your best stuff.
I'm not. Thank you all for listening. Class is dismissed. See you all next week.
Bye.
Good night. Ready?
We exist in a multiverse of countless life forms and alternate dimensions. Interdimensional travel has become commonplace, but so has interdimensional crime.
Hello and welcome to Waka's Weird Wonders. I'm Waka Pale, who a while ago enjoyed 13am's 2019 hand-drawn 2D adventure platformer Double Cross. Its protagonist, Sarah, with a Z and an H in the middle, Sinclair, is a human, or close enough, member of Rift, an interdimensional agency safeguarding the Earth through the multiverses. One day, Rift's headquarters in the Extraverse is invaded by 3 different Earths with evidence suggesting a Rift member has betrayed the organization. Sarah is assigned the case and travels 3 very different Earths to uncover the conspiracy. Double Cross features non-linear progression where you find clues in the platforming levels which sometimes feature light puzzles, then piece the evidence together at the Rift headquarters. Sarah has a decent moveset and is adept at hand-to-hand combat, which is at odds with the rather simplistic enemies. Very few fights require more than spamming attacks and maybe do an occasional combat roll. There are also some simple side quests that unravel at Rift's headquarters between missions, which awards achievements. I doubt they are missable, but side stories cannot be done at once. You have to do them a few steps at a time and progress them further after playing a mission. The game has some great cartoony character art and plenty of writing. Unfortunately, the background graphics are not as inspired. It's not bad, but looks inferior to the character models and portraits. Double Cross has 35 achievements worth 1000 game score and 2700 TA, with most of the TA being rather backloaded. There is a point of no return, but not a single achievement is really missable as you revert back to before the point of no return after defeating the final boss. All levels are replayable. You likely have to play through each level at least twice if you play without a guide, as there are many collectibles in each level and a speedrun for most levels. While there are 114 pieces of upgradium to find, which can be used to upgrade Sarah's capabilities, they do have decent tracking. The speedrun times are very generous, always having a target of 15 minutes, but just running through the levels usually end up in around half that time. There's also an achievement for completing all missions, which appears to just be the first 9 levels without dying. Dying does not void these achievements, you just have to replay that specific level again. This is rather easy apart from one single level which is far more difficult than the rest of the levels, but still far from impossible. If you are decent at 2D platformers, most of the game is rather easy, but there is one single achievement that is far more difficult than the rest, apart from the dreaded unlock all other achievements achievement, which is trackable in-game and works, by the way. Defeating the final boss with the glass cannon upgrade is no easy task. The glass cannon upgrade ups your attack power, but kills you in one hit. You can mitigate it slightly with a shield upgrade, allowing you to take 2 hits before dying, but it is still really challenging. Double Cross has 600 starts on TA, of which more than a third has just earned an achievement or 2. This might be because the tutorial is surprisingly difficult and requires you to use advanced movesets, which sets up expectations for the rest of the game to be rather difficult, which it mostly isn't. It is rather easy apart from a few difficulty spikes, especially after you've gotten a few upgrades. TA estimates the completion to 12 to 15 hours, which seems reasonable for a blind run but can be completed faster if following a guide. I was positively surprised by Double Cross and very much enjoyed my time with it. Difficulty spikes aside, it is quite a laid-back achievement list with no missables. The main story is serviceable, but the setting and the moment-to-moment interactions between the multi-dimensional cast can be real fun. Double Cross's asking price of $20 is steep, but chances are some of you picked it up at times it was $4, which is a great price for a pretty good game. Have a nice day, everyone!